Hey guys and girls, welcome back to RC Crawler Control. Well, we've got a fresh new unboxing for you here, but before then, let's just pan around, see some of my other rigs. Some things are part done, in progress, working on it, whatever you want to call it. Some things are done, ready, and the old 110 there, that's generally what people know I run. So anyway, let's get on with the unboxing video. Not many people I know have got these yet, especially not in the UK. Greens Models supplied me with this, so that's Simon's of Greens Models, so big shout out to him. Not sponsored by anybody, but I'll always give credit where it's due. Great service there, so and it's one of the only places where you can get this from. At least that's what I know in the UK, unless you're importing them yourself. Good start. That looks pretty awesome. Certainly heavy enough. Anyway, let's get out of the box. Nice looking rig. So I'll be honest, I don't know everything about these yet. I know I love cross RC. You can see 1, 2, 3. The Land Rover's going to be, or the 84 is going to be a Land Rover 109. I think that's it. I've got the man truck as well. I call it the man truck. It's on a TRX4 chassis, but it's a man truck body from Cross RC. Just wanted something that looked as good as these, but maybe a bit more capable. Still a work in progress on that. Haven't decided what I'm yet doing for this. I think it depends what the nationals and other competitions class the vehicles in. I like the traditional army colour. I'd probably do this one desert as opposed to army green, but saying that, I quite like army green. But what I really want to do with this, if I don't go for the army option or the military option, is to do it as a competition off-road vehicle, like you see on sort of, you know, these 6 and 8 wheel drive trucks going over huge terrain. Basically the real thing of what I do with RCs. So I may take the back off, have it as a flatbed. May even cut away at this at all. Want to look at seeing how much room I've got between the rear tyres. See if I can get something a bit bigger on there, a bit more sort of scaled for competitions and things. As you can see there, all the box art. Don't know if you can see what's on that side there, but we'll do a full 360. Hopefully it's not getting too blurry. So the other side that you saw gives you all the dimensions. So the full vehicle length, according to this, is 650 millimeters, or 65 centimeters. The width of it is, where's the width at? Okay, so the centre of the wheelbase is 189. That's to the centre of each wheel across the front. And the tyre itself is 35. And the height of the vehicle is 262 on the standard wheels and tyres. You've got 126 mil gap between the rear axle and the middle axle. So that might allow some space for some slightly bigger tyres. Fingers crossed on that one. I don't know why I did that. That's fingers crossed. Yeah, it's a really cool looking rig. Transmitter controlled lighting system, 6x6 drive system, all metal transmission shafts, high torque brushed motor, 2-speed gearbox. I'm hoping you guys can still see that at that angle. All metal cast axle housings, all metal gears. Now that's brilliant because it means you can drive for longer, drive them harder. Like all things, they'll all need their maintenance, and I'm sure there's people saying, oh, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that, but metal gears are better than plastic in my opinion, especially when you're driving a heavy rig like this anyway. Shock assisted leaf spring suspension, wheels and tyres, 1.9 steel wheels. Oh, right, they're giving actually steel wheels, normally they're plastic, so I'll have to make sure they actually are. C-type aluminium frame rails, ladder chassis. That's generally the case with most of the RC, cross RC trucks, is the ladder frame chassis. One of the reasons I like them so much. So yeah, as you can see, all the breakdowns here of the leaf springs. I also like how leaf springs drive, so they drive very differently to your core sprung rigs, or even like the G-Made that has the cantilever, which I do think is really good actually, and I have that on the man truck TRX4 so that I can get the body on. So anyway, this is the kit version. I don't believe they do it ready to run yet, so yeah, this is the only one that's available. Right, let's get the actual box open, shall we? That new box smell. So straight away on top of the box we've got the Cross RC stickers. You can't see, but the camera currently is in one of my scale garages. I've got all the stickers on the wall from your sort of Dunlop, Camel trophies, Cross and Traxxas parts. So that's the first part. Got a lovely manual here, Cross RC manuals. I find them pretty good. I'm going to need to be, because I'm going to try and build as much of this myself as possible. I don't claim to be some sort of whiz kid builder. I'm still very much learning. I've got a lot of trucks behind me, but I've had a lot of help from friends. So eventually when the build videos come out, I'm going to try and video them. They won't be out for a while, I'm afraid, guys, because I am just really busy at the moment. I will be posting how I'm finding it, basically as a complete newbie. Well, I can't say a complete newbie, I know little bits, but I'm not an expert at modelling and building in general. But anyway, so back to the manual to show you guys. So let's just choose a random page there, or this one. What have we got here? So yeah, obviously that's the making of the cab and the doors. So it's quite a detailed instructions. I mean, they'd always be better and more detailed. Obviously there's not an awful lot of words. In fact, there's none virtually. It is just arrows pointing to where it needs to be. So that's where having some experience would be good, you know, to know that does that clip in or does it need gluing in. But I've been making many phone calls to friends and asking them for their help, I'm sure. So for those of you who will be helping, I apologise now. Going into the truck, we've got obviously the windscreen, and this looks like a more exciting part, the front of the cab. So we are talking more of the scale of the man trucks. In fact, that really does quite look almost slightly bigger. So yeah, nice. It's all I think it's ABS plastic. I think that's what it's referred to, but it's, you know, it's not floppy. You know, there's not a lot of give in that. It's nice and strong, but yet not brittle. There's your floor pan for your cab. It's already packaged nicely. Everything's sealed in here. It's going to be a nightmare to try and get this back into the box. So I can just see it now that there's probably only way that it all fits, like an intricate puzzle. More parts of the cab, I believe. Got the standard Cross RC tyres. These will be being sold. Just seeing, they are virtually the same tread as the MC8, but these look kind of slightly deeper and more aggressive. Perhaps they've just worn, but I won't be using these. I personally find them too hard, although these are definitely softer than that one, so maybe Cross RC have made that adjustment already. But I recommend choosing any tyres that work for you. I'm not saying that they're rubbish, but I certainly found that when I put the Krypton tyres, whoever makes those, on the HC6, it is probably the single biggest improvement I've ever done to any truck ever. Those tyres are brilliant. There's probably other tyres out there that are brilliant, but the tyres that came with that were so hard, it just never gripped anything. So maybe something to change for the future. We have, obviously, it's looking like our Dean's and lighting system, so battery connections. This will be all for the lights. Don't really know a lot about that, gonna have to do some research myself, but there is a nice intricate diagram at the back to show you how it all wires together. That's really good that we've got the lighting system with that. A lot of trucks you have to go and buy them secondary or in the aftermarket. Not quite sure what all these bits are. Let's pick out something a bit more. Right, there we go, there's the axles. Now that alone, it's hard to guess, but that probably weighs more than a standard TRX4, just that, and that's before you put the huge body on top. I don't know that accurately, but trust me when I say that's heavy. Hopefully you guys can see. In fact, I'll take one out the packet for you. So there you go, nice strong sturdy axles. Then we have, looks like they've provided grease. We've got a sound unit. I didn't know it even came with a sound unit. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So someone else probably knows a lot more than me, or most people even do. But the good thing about this hobby is you're constantly learning. There are a few people out there that are right know-it-all, but generally everybody means well in the sport, and you know, I love how everyone comes together to help each other out. So but yeah, there I think is a sound system. I could be wrong, but comes with grease. You've got small bits of checker plating as well. You've got your shocks, obviously, to dampen the leaf springs, because otherwise it will just keep bouncing for eternity. Oh, here we go, here's a nice heavy component. 2-speed transmission and the motor. Now I'm presuming this looks very similar to the 2-speed that I have in the HC6, and I have a spare gearbox that I got from a friend, not really sure how. But yes, that looks very similar, and I've also never had problems with the old 2-speed gearboxes, so even if that is the old one, they've been pretty solid for me. Say I don't know enough about that yet. So I just wanted to show everyone a more close up at things I was trying to hold up to the camera. There's the cab section, the front of it, the inside floor pan of the cab. So, you know, although these are 1 to 12, you put that next to a, I mean, that's a metal hard body TRX4, but it's certainly wider, bigger, chunkier, obviously, because it's a truck. But I think some people think that because they're 1/12, they're a lot smaller. As you can see there, they're not small. You know, yeah, the TRX6 door on the 150 is bigger than that, but you know, that's about the only thing that dwarfs the cross RC stuff in the 1/12 scale. Anyway, here is the motor and gearbox, the 2-speed, like I was showing you earlier. So everything you need there. Let's pick up the lighting. So I was trying to show you the tyres earlier. And we've got the book. Not sure what some of these parts are. I need to look at the instructions to know. They're the shock absorbers, or dampers, as some people would call them. And there were the axles. These are the wheels, and they are indeed metal. They weren't lying. I think that's the first one I've had come with metal wheels. So that saves me perhaps buying a set, actually. Just depends if these fit other tyres. I'll have to let you guys know on that one. And like with the other cross RCs, trucks anyway, it looks like they've got the famous yellow plastic that this one and this one were completely made from. It all looked like this. So they are definitely stepping up their game. Not I've got a problem with this stuff, but I think most people prefer working with this, although that definitely is a lot thinner than the sides of this or the MCA. I mean, obviously there is flex in there, but that's because that's a two-part. If you take the whole of it, so although perhaps more detailed, maybe not as strong, but that could just be the side plates. I'd imagine there's some supports in there somewhere as well. So what else is in here? You've got the windscreen wipers, that's obviously some accessories, steering wheel, seats. There's definitely some very scale detailed parts here, as you can see. We've got an engine cover. That's pretty cool. I've seen this obviously only on a few videos. There's one bloke that's put a video up, otherwise they're all cross RC marketing. It's got this huge exhaust on it and that looks awesome. So more parts there. These are the doors. Gives you an idea of scale. Again, if I put that next to a TRX4, see, it's not exactly a, you know, in fact it's bigger, but it is obviously 1/12 compared to 1/10. So there we go. That pretty much is it, other than the chassis rails. So again, if I put this, my workshop's obviously really clean and tidy, as you can see, guys. So that is quite a lot longer. If I put that to the back of the TRX4, it's quite a lot bigger, but not so much so that, because I'd love a 1/10 truck, but realistically you'd never get it round the courses that are set up. I'm going to call this an unboxing slash review. It's not really a review because obviously I'm not building it yet and we're not running it yet, but I'm seriously impressed with what's in the box. It's really well packaged. Cross RC stuff is seriously underrated in my opinion. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I'll just give honest opinions. I think Cross RC are really good, and I like an alternative to something that can drive well and off-road that looks good. I don't know why I'm leaning over there, getting further and further over, but yeah, I like Cross RC trucks because it's an alternative to your TRX4s, your abismas, your X610s, and yes, they can't do everything they can, but they can definitely keep up with them, and at times do more. Like my Cross RC trucks will hill climb further than my TRX4s and G-Maids will. They won't do rocky, bumpy sections and hill side hilling as well, but it's you know, some things are good for some things are good for another. So I'm really impressed with this. I think generally the build quality is looking good. The one concern perhaps was, oh, hit myself in the face, these thinner than I'm used to, but I haven't built it yet, so it's not really fair to say that. They just look more flimsy, but yeah, generally I'm pretty impressed with everything. So yeah, that's my thoughts of unboxing on the Cross FC6. Hope this helps you guys and girls. If you've got any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. I don't know everything, I'm not the most technical person, but I am learning. So that's enough for me at RC Quarter Control, and I'll see you next time.